ngir di ko fa amee jaratul loolu daw leen gaaw ñëw fii ci Desires African Market di ngeen ko fa rek daal di amee rawati nag jigéen ñi nga xam ne seen i sew-sew ak seen i bagage yi nga xam ne dañu koy bëgg mu jaral leen di yónnee fu sori jaratul loolu daw leen dem ci Desires African Market ma nga fa ay diw ay saabu ak lépp loo xam ne boo leen ko jëfandikoo seen kanam di gën di bell taar wi di gën di ñëw àllaaji di leen gën a nopp boo leen demee ci Desires African Market di ngeen ko fa rek fekk waaye ku wax jigéen wax waañ lépp loo leen soxla ci ay ndugg ngir am ndugg mu jaar yoon ndugg mu yaatu te yemb ngir boo leen toggee yekk lu neex boo leen demee ci Desires African Market di ngeen ko fa rek daal di fekk xale boobu di jooy ci wet gi defe ni dañ ko fàtte déedéet Desires African Market amal na la fi ay produits yu baax boo ñëwee fii yaay booy bu ñëwee jëndal la dina la jëndal ay bagages yu baax yoo xam ne boo ko lekkee dina gën a baax ci sa wér-gu-yaram waaye dina la gën a yokk sa li nga xam ne mooy sa màggaay yow mi nga xam ne da ngay yëngu ci diine bëgg ca diine lool amal nañ la fi ay bagages boo ñëwee ñu jaay la sijaada jaay la satala waaye lépp loo xam ne day gën a ñoŋal diine yi boo ñëwee rek am na fi.
Our community need this. Our people need this.
yow mu may déglu naan nan laay def ba jokkoo ak ñoom déglu ma wax la lii Everett Mall foofu lañ nekk mbaa ma jox la seen ndomba nga call leen ngir ñu teg la ci yoon 425 374 7807 425 374 7807 ak Desires African Market coono jeex na mbégteeg bànneex kese.
corona lu am la fagaroo gen faju ajaleen ñu dem vaccine.
xibaar bu neex mbokk mi mbaa xam nga ni tout tànk yi am juróomi at mbaa li ko ëpp mënees nañu jël ñàkku coronavirus yi ci lu leen dul dikkee dara.
vaccination ñëw na ci suñu réew ñun jëli ko war nañoo ku ko jëli ñoo am visa ngir dugg ci benn.
waaw xale yi am juróomi at fukki at ak benn jëm kaw mënees nañ koo jël di ñàkkub coronavirus yi. yomb na lool.
Mic test, mic test. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to use this opportunity to welcome you. And we have our guest arrived already and is waiting at the holding room. Very soon, the high table, together with our distinguished guest, will arrive, and I urge you to be seated. Mr. Kante. Bonjour tout le monde. Le vice-président de la République de Gambie a déjà arrivé. Bientôt, on va démarrer les cérémonies d'ouverture. Dans quelques minutes, les vice-présidents avec les délégations dans le podium vont nous rejoindre pour démarrer les séances d'ouverture. Merci beaucoup. So what we will do is most of the speeches will be in English. So we have Mr. Kante, who will be doing the translation for those who may not understand English. And vice versa as well, if some of the speeches will be in English or in French, he would do it in English. So you bear with us, it will take a bit of time, but I think it's important that we have that.
Bonjour monsieur, bonjour monsieur le président des sociétés nationales, bonjour les secrétaires généraux des sociétés nationales et bonjour chers délégués. Comme le secrétaire général de la Croix-Rouge gambienne va s'exprimer tout de suite, on va avoir tout de suite son Excellence, Madame la Première ministre de la Gambie. Elle va s'exprimer en anglais, mais chers collègues qui parlent français, ne vous en faites pas. On va avoir une traduction après son discours, on va avoir le même discours en français pour la bonne compréhension des collègues qui parlent français. Je vous remercie.
May we kindly ask you to rise, the arrival of Her Excellency, the Vice President. Thank you very much. We can please be seated. Once again, good afternoon, and we welcome our high table and Her Excellency Dr. Aissatou Touré, Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. We go with the national anthem before we start our ceremony. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gambia Police Band. Good afternoon. Let's do individual prayers, quietly individual prayers before we go into the program. Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Madam Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré. Welcome to the Red Cross family. Honorable Jato Sila, President of the Gambia Red Cross Society. Dr. Karen Kinnick, who is President of the Turkish Red Crescent and Vice President of IFRC. Mr. Mohammed Mukia, Regional Director for Africa, International Federation of Red Cross. Philip from the ICRC. Mr. Alindo Suarez de Carvalho, President of the Cape Verde Red Cross and President of Sahel Group Plus. Madame Bafou Ba, President of the Senegalese Red Cross and Permanent Secretary to the Sahel Group. And of course, my humble self, Alassane Senghor, Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross, the moderator of this opening ceremony. Now we have a program before us, and the program will run as follows. We will have the President of the Gambia Red Cross, Honorable Jato Sila, who will do the welcome address. And then we have introductory remarks from the ICRC, Madam Valentine Banasconi, who is going to be online. She is not able to be here because of other engagement, but will join us live to address this ceremony. Then we will have Mr. Mohammed Mukia, who is the Regional Director for Africa, IFRC. And then we'll have the Sahel Group President, Mr. Arlindo, who will make a statement. Then finally, we will have the opening statement from Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. Now, before I do that, I start giving speakers, I would like to ask Mr. Kante to translate for us, for the French speakers, before we proceed.
Et puis pour l'étalement du programme, pour commencer, on va avoir le premier mot qui va être exprimé par le président de la Coalition gambienne, M. Jato Sila. Ensuite, on aura la FRC. On aura le président de la Coalition gambienne, M. Jato Sila, qui va faire la première marche. Et en deuxième lieu, on aura le chef de délégation du comité international de la Croix-Rouge, M. Mohammed Mukia, qui n'est pas présent, mais il va
Valentine Banasconi.
Valentino. Elle n'est pas si présente, mais elle va nous exprimer en ligne. Par la suite, on aura l'ouverture solennelle de Madame la vice-présidente de la Gambie qui va faire l'ouverture de cette cérémonie.
Thank you very much. Now, before giving the floor, I would like to use my previous or current experience to introduce the high table. On our far right, as I said earlier on, Dr. Karen Kinnick, who is the president of the Turkish Red Crescent but at the same time, Vice President of the IFRC with a lot of experience in the Red Cross, Red Crescent movement, and has traveled extensively both in his own country doing Red Cross work, but also internationally. And he's just coming back from Ukraine, where his national society, together with the International Federation and others, and other national society here present, are engaged. Then Mr. Mohammed Mukia, who is an expert in food security, livelihood, and resilience, is the regional director for Africa, covering the 29 sub-Saharan countries in Africa. Based in Nairobi, a friend, a colleague, committed to Gambia, very supportive to Gambia Red Cross, especially during the difficult times of COVID, but most especially when we have emergencies, the disaster relief funds that are provided by the IFRC are released through his office with maximum speed. So Mohammed, thank you very much and welcome. Now, I will do the introduction of the Vice President, who is so special to the Gambia, but also to the Red Cross. Last, Honorable Jato Silla, started a volunteer of the Red Cross in his school days, rose to the ranks of running youth groups, chair of several committees and branch, and then eventually vice president of the Red Cross, and today president of the Red Cross. My coming back to Gambia Red Cross to work with you to develop the Red Cross, thanks to his efforts and his push from national to international level. And I owe him all the credit for the support, the interaction between governance and management. I wouldn't say is the best, but I could say it is the best. Very supportive, always available for consultations, guidance, and of course, support. Now, Mr. Alindo, I say félicitations. He is recently re-elected as president of the Cape Verde Red Cross, and a couple of days ago was invested or sworn in by the head of state as president of the National Society for the next 4 years. This happens in Cape Verde because they're following the fact that national societies are created by governments, by act of parliament, so therefore they are independent, but of course government has a responsibility to ensure that there is good governance, there is good management, and the society runs according to the principles of the movement. So congratulations, Dr. Alindo. Wow. Madame Bafouba, president of the Senegalese Red Cross, a friend, a colleague for a very long time, who also rose within the ranks of Senegalese Red Cross from a volunteer staff in different aspects, but also somebody who has worked in the sub-region, very supportive in terms of dealing with issues around health, gender, livelihoods, resilience, and of course, a social worker, very strong advocate for gender. I'm sure the vice president would want to hear that. Madame Bafouba is the president of the Senegalese Red Cross and permanent secretary to the group. Now, Philip from the ICRC, a colleague also who has been in different parts of the world and also been in Geneva. We interacted a lot in terms of national society development, very concerned and have been very strong in advocating for national society development. Philip is based in Abidjan and still very supportive in terms of the cooperation between ICRC and the national society. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to finally, before we proceed, to thank the Vice President for availing herself, which is not a surprise to me. She is always available for the Red Cross and for other institutions when it comes to the development of this country, either humanitarian or development. She is always available. She is not here because of, not only because of her interests, but the portfolio of humanitarian disasters and all other aspects falls under the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. In our midst, we have today the NDMA, which is the National Disaster Management Agency, which is under her ministry. And she's always very supportive to ensuring that there is effective coordination and efficiency in the system. So I would like you to join me in thanking her for all the support that she has provided and been provided for the Red Cross, for the Gambia Red Cross. Madam Vice President, here we have the Sahel Group Plus, which is 10 national societies, 9 of them in the Sahel, and plus Guinea, which is not part of the Sahel. It's a network of national societies that share ideas, experiences, and work together, support each other, simply because of the common interests and the common challenges that exist within the Sahel countries. The national societies have taken ownership and leadership, not only in their development, but in working with their governments. And one of the agendas that emanated from the Pan-African Conference in Addis Ababa was to measure national society performance in terms of their relationship with their governments. Therefore, national societies coming together to discuss one of the key challenges that we face over the past few years, which is food security, livelihood, and COVID-19. And in these two areas, the work that nothing can be done without government, because it's government's role and government's leadership. I'm proud to say that here in the Gambia, we are lucky. And I think those who went to see for a courtesy call this morning to the head of state can attest to that. We enjoy full support and collaboration from the head of state right down to the last civil servant in this country. And we hope this will continue. Without much ado, I would like to allow Mr. Kante to briefly summarize, and then we can go into the program proper. Thank you.
Une introduction de la table de l'homme ici présente la table de l'homme, il y a le président de la Croix-Rouge qui est présent, et à côté de lui, il y a M. Mohammed Mukia, qui est un ami, un frère en lui, qui est aussi présent, qui représente ici, qui représente la direction de sécurité alimentaire et moyens de distance, en même temps le président de la Fédération internationale de la Croix-Rouge de l'Afrique. Et à côté de lui, il a fait, le secrétaire général a fait une présentation exceptionnelle de Madame la vice-présidente, qui est aussi une amie, non seulement une amie, mais une volontaire de la Croix-Rouge depuis le début. Il a la Croix-Rouge dans elle. Elle n'est pas ici présente juste moi en tant que ministre, mais elle est ici présente en tant que volontaire de la Croix-Rouge. Et à côté de Madame la vice-présidente, on a Monsieur le Président, actuellement qui est le président du groupe Sahel et en même temps le président de la Société nationale de la Croix-Rouge capverdienne, qui est ici présent ici, comme vous savez, qui est aussi un ami en lui. Et à côté de Monsieur le Président de la Croix-Rouge capverdienne, on a Madame Bassou, qui est la présidente de la Croix-Rouge sénégalaise. Et elle aussi, qui est une amie et qui représente très grande chose pour lui. Sa présence nous fait tellement ravis d'être parmi nous ici. On a salué très bien. Et à côté de Madame la Présidente, il y a M. Philippe, qui est ici pour la Comité internationale de la Croix-Rouge, qu'on salue, qui participe beaucoup toutes les activités de la Croix-Rouge au niveau de l'Afrique. On le salue très bien. Ça, c'est la présentation de la
Finally, we have here present our partners, very important national societies from Spain, Italy, Turkey, and of course, we have the ACROFA, which is a group of national societies speaking French, Lusophone, and other languages. And also, we have from the first time the Saudi Red Crescent Society, which is represented here. We have the Belgian as well, and many other national society partners who are based in Dakar or elsewhere. I would like to use this opportunity to thank them for coming and for the support. We also have the Spanish Red Cross delegates who are based here working with us, as well as the Kenya Red Cross, who are also working and a partner to our G+ emergency services. So with those few remarks, I would like to, with your indulgence, call on the President of the Gambia Red Cross Society, Honorable Jethro Silla, to come and give his welcoming statement. Honorable Silla.
de saluer toutes les représentants des sociétés nationales, parce que je remercie la Société nationale, la Société nationale de Senegal, et la croissance qui vient de la société actuellement, il y a le président de la Cour de qui va faire quelques remarques avant de donner la parole à la personne de Madame.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alassane Senghor, the moderator of this program. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Madame Aissatou Touré, please welcome. We are very, very proud and very, very happy to have you here. Madam, what Alassane said is not complete. Alassane is one of the most patriotic Gambian I have ever met in my life. The society was almost collapsing. When we called his attention, he gave up everything in New York. He gave up everything to join us and salvage the society. So it was not me, it was him. Yeah. Okay, Madam. Madam Vice President, as I said, welcome to Sahel Plus General Assembly to be held today here in the Gambia. the chair of the Sahel Plus Group and president of Cape Verde Red Cross Society, and his permanent secretariat, the Senegalese Red Cross president, Dr. Karem Kinlik, vice president of IFRC, who doubles also as the Turkish president, Red Crescent president, IFRC regional director, ICRC head of delegation, here present, presidents and secretary generals of the sister societies, Red Cross, Red Crescent societies in the Sahel, representatives of partners, both Red Cross societies and delegates, you are welcome. Special welcome to the Saudi Arabian delegates who are representing the Crown Prince here today, and also special welcome to Dr. Kinnick. Members of the Diplomatic Consular Corps, if they are here, the UN system, focus thematic groups, heads that are here today, livelihood, migration, youth, and health, invited guests, Gambia Red Cross Vice President and board members, volunteers and staff present here today, ladies and gentlemen, the media, and all protocols respectfully observed. Allow me welcome all our guests, our brothers and sisters, on behalf of the Gambia Red Cross Society, volunteers, and staff. We salute Madam Aissatou Toure, Vice President of the Gambia, for honoring our invitation despite her busy schedule. Mr. Moderator, it is really a great honor for the Gambia Red Cross Society to host this important meeting. As we all know, every reality for many in Africa's Sahel region are either food deficiency and malnutrition, or armed conflicts, or dramatic climate change, or livelihood opportunities. All of these are compounded by the vanishing hope of a future for millions of young people. Apart from the recent Ukrainian mass and growing displacement of people, the Sahel region has been facing one of the fastest growing displacement crises in the world due to various reasons. Food insecurity, hunger crisis, as well as chronic and acute malnutrition are persistently high in the region, coupled with widespread poverty. About 4.6 million children suffer acute malnutrition in 2021 alone, and at least a total of 7.4 million people are facing acute malnutrition in the region. On the escalating conflict and displacement, more than 4.8 million displaced people, of which more than 2.3 million internally displaced people and more than 2.7 people have been forced to flee their homes, and at least 13.4 million are in dire need of humanitarian assistance. Various conflicts have claimed more than 6,500 lives in the recent years. The devastating impact of conflict on women and children range from incidents of rape and other forms of sexual and gender-based violences, violence against children, exploitation, trafficking, just to mention a few. Mr. Moderator, the Sahelian region is also suffering from the effects of climate change, as well as from the erratic rainfall patterns in the face of climate change. Unpredictable weather patterns, droughts, floods, cyclones, windstorms, and land degradation have jeopardized agricultural and livestock activities in a region where majority of the population live off the land. About 53% of the population depends on farming and pastoralism. They depend on an approximately 13% of already degraded lands. This in turn has increased local competition for natural resources and threatened to exacerbate conflict and instability in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, on COVID-19 restrictions have forced more than 1 million children out of school. Prolonged school closure and not only deprive children from the opportunity to create a better future for themselves, but also increase their risk of abuse, neglect, violence, and exploitation. Not to mention the impact on the economic performance of the sub-region. During crises and disasters, it is the Red Cross, Red Crescent family who are always in the forefront to meet the urgent needs of the vulnerable groups. Protection activities such as shelter, registration, documentation are immediate actions we undertake. We also deliver life-saving shelter, clean water, healthcare, assistance, and sociological support to all kinds of vulnerable groups. Since the beginning of COVID-19, the Gambia Red Cross Society, like all sister societies in the Sahel, has been the first to work with governments and local partners to strengthen national healthcare and systems, disseminate information, facilitate access to food and sanitation facilities, and expand livelihood activities to all and help mitigate the effect of socio-economic impact of the pandemic. We urge this August Assembly to consider the future planning, in their future planning, the following field of activities: scale up the response to address COVID pandemic and work closely with our governments to contribute to the vaccine program. We are still one of the lowest in the area of vaccination in the region. Support our cluster offices and regional headquarters to promote the agenda, create and maintain new partnerships and strengthen the existing ones. Improve emergency operations response and play an active role in the ready strategy to strengthen preparedness in the region. Invest in climate change initiatives and sustainable tree planting. Invest in livelihood and health programs, especially WASH, to contribute to zero hunger initiatives. Support communities to be better prepared for epidemics, pandemics, and other disease outbreaks. Collaborate and coordinate with actors to address population movement, including migration, especially youth illegal migrations. We should strive for increased national society capacities and greater financial sustainability to reduce dependency. Put gender and diversity at center for our decision making, and finally, participate effectively in building a stronger federation and Red Cross movement. In the light of the above, especially considering the volatility of the situation in our sub-region, the Gambia Red Cross Society remains committed to the movement as a whole. Madam Vice President, allow me here to pronounce to our colleagues, the Gambia Red Cross movement, to nominate Mr. Alassane Senghor to represent the African group as International Federation Vice Chair. Our conviction is that Mr. Senghor is nominated by this very assembly because we know that we all going to be the ambassadors and campaign managers to ensure Alassane wins. And because we are all fully aware that Alassane knows the system more than all, He's trustworthy, he's dedicated, and above all, he's very committed to the African region as a whole, and more so the Sahelian group, because he spearheaded the creation of this group. Dear colleagues, please allow me to thank all those who contribute to the successful meeting of this assembly. We recognize the contribution of various institutions and countries to ensure this August meeting is successful. Let me also thank the Gambia Red Cross Society, management, and volunteers for making the meeting a success and for all their efforts. Please, delegates, enjoy the sun, beach, and hospitality of the Gambia. We thank you very much, and we wish you a good stay in the Gambia, and you are all welcome to the Gambia. Thank you very much.
Voilà, chers collègues, vous venez tout juste d'entendre le président de la Croix-Rouge gambienne qui vient de faire tout juste une petite introduction avant l'arrivée de Madame la vice-présidente. Ce que le président de la Croix-Rouge gambienne est en train de dire tout simplement, après avoir salué tous les dignitaires qui sont ici sur la table, une salutation spéciale pour Madame la vice-présidente, et puis il a salué toutes les représentatives des sociétés nationales, saluer tous nos partenaires avec qui on travaille ensemble pour pouvoir réaliser tous les projets que la Société nationale gambienne a réalisés récemment. Il a aussi salué tous les diplomates qui sont présents et qui voulaient être présents, mais ont envoyé des délégués, on les salue de passage aussi. Et puis il salue tous les groupes thématiques, les groupes techniques qui sont derrière tous les travaux des sociétés nationales à travers le monde. Et puis, il a dit, permettez-moi de saluer tous les invités, spécialement, encore une fois, Madame la vice-présidente. Et puis, dans son débat, le président de la Croix-Rouge gambienne a souligné les problèmes qui nous affectent tous dans le monde. Et en tant qu'humanitaire, on est ici, on est même créé pour régler les problèmes. Donc, ensemble, il a mentionné quelques problèmes, des problèmes comme l'insécurité alimentaire qui se passe dans le monde, plus particulièrement en Afrique. Et puis, il a mentionné la malnutrition exactement. Il a aussi mentionné les sans-abri qui vivent dans le monde. Et il nous rappelle tous que c'est notre rôle de les soutenir. C'est notre rôle. Et puis, ils ont une très grande confiance en nous, et puis qu'on continue le travail qu'on est en train de faire en tant que Croix-Rouge et Croissant-Rouge. Son débat a continué et a continué à adresser les difficultés qu'on est en train de rencontrer actuellement dans ce monde. Et une des plus grandes difficultés qu'on est en train de rencontrer, c'est le climate change, le changement climatique. Et le changement climatique est venu avec beaucoup de problèmes à ses côtés. Parmi les problèmes de changement climatique, on a vu comme les vents violents il y avait même un vent violent qui a affecté la Gambie tout récemment. Et puis, il y a beaucoup de vents violents dans le monde. Il y a la malnutrition aussi qui est créée par le changement climatique. Et puis, il a souligné tout cela. Et puis, il vous rappelle que c'est notre rôle, encore une fois, en tant que Croix-Rouge et Croissant-Rouge, de tacler ces problèmes. Et il vous rappelle qu'on est tous des ambassadeurs, en tant que Croix-Rouge et Croissant-Rouge, on est tous des ambassadeurs pour tacler les problèmes de ce monde. En un mot, il a salué tout le monde. Et puis, à cette occasion, il va ouvrir la porte pour donner la parole, pour qu'il fasse une ouverture solennelle de cette session à Madame la vice-présidente de la République de Gambie. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Without wasting much time, I would like to call on Valentin Banasconi, who is the head of delegation of the ICRC, who is going to make a short statement online. Valentin, are you there? Valentin, you have the floor. Yes, you can go ahead. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. So let me start by greeting with all my partner presidents, the vice presidents of the Republic of the Gambia, and Mr. Secretary for being there to assist this very important gathering of the movement of the Red Cross and Red Crescent societies. Then I also would like to thank very much President Sila and Secretary General Alassane regarding Red Cross for hosting the meeting. And of course, my greetings also go to the rest of the family of the Red Cross and Red Crescent movement present there today. Unfortunately, I couldn't be part of this introduction moment. I really regret how we were all supposed to enjoy this program of the first day. I will manage to conclude only tomorrow, so my apologies for that. I think this assembly, this group, as we say in French, that was born 20 plus years ago, 21 years ago, keeps all these persons today. It was born, I think, as a way to coordinate a little bit and discuss some issues that during the years became important, but today it puts this group in the context that we're living today. It really has much more effectiveness, I would say, than ever. What we're witnessing today is that humanity is suffering in terms that they never had before. Geopolitics, climate change, pandemics are actually causing more suffering today than they ever did in the past. If you look at some of the index that they are always under our books in the media, we keep on reading 20 countries in Africa are fertile. That access, for example, to basic needs or access to basic services is shrinking. We are now preparing here in Dakar the World Water Forum. We are going to participate in the World Water Forum as a movement next week, and it's quite appalling to see that we have 30 million people that will be food insecurity in 2022 only in the Sahel. And when we speak about food insecurity, we speak about not having access to water too. So the numbers are big. I think the problems are not getting less and bigger. So what can we do? What can we do us as a movement? Given all this gray, if not black scenario. I thought about it honestly before addressing you today, and I think that we simply should be continue doing what we do. I think we really need to continue alleviate the suffering of the people, but to do more efficiently. And that's probably a little bit the game changer that we need to address during this gathering in Banjul. As President Sila mentioned before, we are here to solve problems, and I think we're good at solving problems, but we need to do it efficiently. I think that the Sahel now has a chance to really look into practically how to serve the most vulnerable in a more efficient way, our best way, I would say, and together. Because the movement is not everywhere. We are in all the countries across the world. So volunteers of different Red Crosses or Red Crescent are everywhere. And the community, they are the community. They understand the communities. They know how to serve the community. So I think it's really important to integrate the opinion of the youngsters into this platform of the Sahel Plus, and to find that this efficiency together, bring durable coordination to really have a meaningful impact to the communities that we all want to serve. I will stop here. I really thank you for allowing me to intervene in remote online, and I'm looking very much forward to meet you all tomorrow in Banjul. Thank you very much.
Je vais juste résumer. Je pense que ce que Valentine est en train de dire, c'était pour évoquer les défis humanitaires qui existent dans nos régions. C'est la raison pour laquelle cette Assemblée générale est très importante, surtout dans le Sahel. Mais aussi, elle a dit que le World Water Forum, qui va se tenir à Dakar, je pense que demain, ça va commencer demain ou cette semaine ou semaine prochaine, sera une opportunité aussi pour regarder. Oui, mais aussi, elle a dit qu'il y a, dans nos régions, il y a 30 millions de personnes qui va avoir une insécurité alimentaire avec d'autres défis humanitaires. Ça veut dire que c'est très important pour nous, tant que mouvement, on utilise notre avantage comparatif pour travailler ensemble pour lever les défis humanitaires dans nos sous-régions. Merci Valentine, merci tout le monde. I would like to introduce the next speaker in the interest of time, because I think the Vice President has another engagement and we are running out of time. I would like to invite Mr. Mohammed Mukia from the IFRC to make his remarks. Mohammed, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Hassan, for the invite and for this excellent organization of the Sahel Plus group meeting. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Gambia, of the Republic of the Gambia, colleagues and friends, the leaders of the Sahel Group National Societies, colleagues and friends from the movement partners, good afternoon. Please allow me to make 3 quick remarks on these occasions of opening this important gathering and meeting. Number one, it is really important for us, and I'm very pleasantly happy to see this very strong auxiliary relationship between the government of the Gambia and the Gambia Red Cross. I think this is fundamentally what we have to be as a Red Cross, Red Crescent national societies. We need to work on the domestic. We need to have clear plans and roles that are given to us to support the governmental efforts to achieve their agenda, to achieve sustainability, to achieve the targets of the climate change, to achieve the localization and the Istanbul commitment for the grand bargains, and to achieve the community resilience. And I had the pleasure actually to visit some of the branches of the Gambia Red Cross. And when you see the national society that has more than 20,000 volunteers, is structured into 7 branches. Every day, the branches are helping the communities and the most vulnerable, including the migrants. They're providing outstanding services for the migrants. They're providing public health services, including ambulance services. They're providing COVID services, including preventions, including helping the most vulnerable to get access and to mobilize the communities for vaccinations in support of the government efforts. And equally importantly, they're working on the climate change. They're supporting livelihood, they're supporting climate change mitigations, they're supporting communities to grow their own food. So I really wanted to thank the leadership of the Gambia Red Cross Board and the President Sila, but also to thank my friend and colleague Al-Hassan for his leadership in transforming the Gambia Red Cross, in making sure that Gambia Red Cross is trusted partner, trusted by the public, trusted by the partners, but trusted by the government of Gambia, and that the Gambia government is giving the Gambia Red Cross very clear space into the national plans in Gambia. Colleagues and friends, secondly, allow me to make a comment about this gathering of the Sahel. As you read in the concept note and the agenda, this is very crucial gathering during very difficult time in Africa, but also difficult time in the Sahel. It is the issue of hunger. Sadly and very unfortunately in Africa, we have about 100 million people hungry. Good part of these numbers are actually in the Sahel region. Reasons what we see in hunger, this is only a symptom. This is not the root cause. Root cause in hunger are quite complicated and broad, and too many factors. Climate change, we can blame climate change for the drought, we can blame climate change for the floods, but there is the issues to do. If you remember last year, we had issues of desert locust invasions, we had issues of the COVID, we had issues to do with violence across Africa in about 30 countries, but as well in the Sahel region. So, colleagues and friends, I just wanted to make the commitment of the Federation, and I'm glad that the Federation is strongly participating in this meeting. I represent the Secretariat. We have the President of the Turkish Red Crescent, who's also the Vice President of the IFRC. We are going to have the President of the IFRC, Francisco, who's going to address this gathering tomorrow, and we are really committed. We just wanted to repeat the commitment of the Secretariat, of the Secretary General, to support the African National Societies and the Sahel Plus group in handling this issue of hunger. We need to look at the root causes. We need to address the climate change. We need to address the issues to do with migrations. And then we need to provide life-saving assistance. Hunger is unacceptable. This is the most indignifying type of risk, where people cannot feed themselves, they cannot feed their families, who are leaving women and children struggling with the consequences of hunger in large part of Africa, and that is unacceptable. And we as a federation fully committed to support you, to support the members of the Sahel Plus, but to support each individual national societies if they wish to play a part to address the current hunger crisis across Africa. Colleagues and friends, finally, allow me to say a few words about the network, about the Sahel Plus network. We are again very committed as a federation. This is part of the agenda for renewal. This is part of the strategy 2030, putting national society at the center, working for national societies, working with national societies, pushing more resources closer to national societies. And we are committed to do all of this in the Sahel group. Sahel Plus Group is no longer supported only by one delegation from Dakar, but is now supported by 4 delegations. And this is a very clear move for us, putting core resources close to the members. We wanted to make sure that we are supporting the good governance, good management, good leadership of the African national societies in the Sahel Plus Group and all across Africa. We wanted to increase and to make sure that the national societies are credible and trusted by their public, by their government, by all of the partners. And that is one of the reasons why we support and we attend meeting of the networks. We have in Africa 5 sub-regional networks, including Sahel Plus. And this is very important leadership platform to make sure that we are supporting the transformative agenda. We are focusing on the real issues. We are focusing on domestic. And I repeat, domestic. The big value of the national societies for us, especially in Africa, is how they are supported domestically, including on fundraising and financial sustainabilities. How are they helping their government on sustainability and development? And as such, we are part of governmental plans. We are not having any parallel plans in Africa, including in the Sahel Plus Group. So colleagues and friends, just to repeat our commitment to support such leadership platforms and to support you in handling your priorities. But please, colleagues, as we all committed globally for the Strategy 2030 and for the Agenda for Renewal, at the heart of it is good governance, good management, good leadership, giving the space for youth and volunteers, giving a space for diversity, bringing women and girls around the table to be leaders. And I'm so delighted to see in the high table, we have 2 capable women. One is leading the nation to support the government of Gambia, sustainability and peace and security. And we are having Madame Bafo as a president of the Senegal Red Cross, transforming the Senegalese Red Cross. So this is what the agenda, the real agenda is. Good governance, good management, strong national societies, trusted, respected, and part of their national domestic plans that deliver values to help, hopefully, the global peace and security. So thank you very much, and we are going to be fully engaged with you in the next 2 days to work out on the details. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ça, c'était le président de la Fédération internationale de la Croix-Rouge en Afrique. Après avoir fait ses salutations, il a donné quelques mots pour marquer encore les impacts, les trucs qui se passent en Afrique. Et puis, en premier lieu, il a salué la Croix-Rouge gambienne qu'il vient de visiter récemment, et puis a vu les efforts que la Croix-Rouge gambienne a effectués ici récemment. Et en 2, il a aussi salué le leadership de la Croix-Rouge gambienne qui sont derrière tous les projets qui viennent d'être réalisés par la Croix-Rouge gambienne. Et puis il a aussi marqué les projets que la Croix-Rouge gambienne a réalisés sur la sécurité alimentaire et moyens d'existence. Et aussi, il donne une très grande salutation à la communauté internationale de la Croix-Rouge et la Fédération internationale de la Croix-Rouge qui ont supporté toutes les sociétés nationales pour pouvoir achever toutes les implémentations qu'on vient de faire. Et en 3e, il a donné un très grand salut pour les femmes et il a utilisé les 2 femmes qui sont présentes ici sur la table d'honneur comme exemple. La première femme qui est vice-présidente et la deuxième femme qui est présidente d'une société nationale pour vous montrer que les femmes sont derrière toutes les grandes réussites. Et il a terminé pour donner exemple, en tant qu'exemple aux autres sociétés nationales, la Société nationale gambienne, parce qu'il a visité tout récemment et avoir une très bonne relation, la façon dont la Société nationale gambienne a une très bonne relation avec le gouvernement pour pouvoir achever tous les projets qu'ils viennent d'achever et être un bon support au gouvernement aussi. En un mot, en résumé, c'est ce que le président de la Fédération internationale de la Croix-Rouge en Afrique vient de s'exprimer. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you very much. I would just like to say thank you to the IFRC for the support they have provided, especially during COVID, mobilizing over $1 million Swiss francs to support the Gambia Red Cross's work with the government in fighting COVID, and of course, the development of the National Society. And in passing, I would like to also thank certain partners who have been very consistent and supportive, including the ICRC and also the Italian Red Cross that has been with us during the difficult times in helping the transformation, supporting the transformation of the National Society as well as the Spanish Red Cross. So thank you very much. Now, the next speaker on our list is the president of the Sahel Group, Mr. Alino Suarez. You have the floor. Jose. His speech is going to be in French, so and then afterwards I'll give you the resume of his speech.
Excellence, Madame la Vice-Présidente de la République de Gambie, Monsieur le représentant de la Francisco Roca, Président de la Fédération internationale de Croix-Rouge et de Croissant-Rouge, Monsieur le Président de la Société nationale de la Croix-Rouge de Gambie, Madame Bafouba, secrétaire permanente du groupe Sahel Plus et président de la Croix-Rouge du Sénégal, Monsieur le vice-président Afrique, je crois qu'il ne le fait pas, Monsieur le vice-président pour les régions de l'Europe, Monsieur le directeur régional Afrique, Monsieur le président de l'ACROF et président de la Croix-Rouge de Guinée, Mesdames et Messieurs les présidents des sociétés nationales de la Croix-Rouge et du Croissant-Rouge du groupe Sahel Plus, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, Gambie, Guinée-Bissau, Guinée-Conakry, Mali, Mauritanie, Niger, Sénégal et Tchad. Monsieur le chef de délégation régionale du cluster Sahel Plus de la Fédération internationale, sous-représentante ici, Madame la chef de délégation régionale du Comité international de la Croix-Rouge, sous-représentante ici, Monsieur le secrétaire général de la Croix-Rouge Gambie, Alassane Senghor, Mesdames et Messieurs les secrétaires généraux des sociétés nationales de la Croix-Rouge et du Croissant-Rouge du groupe Sahel, Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants des sociétés nationales, partenariat de la Croix-Rouge, partenaires de la Croix-Rouge de Belgique, d'Italie, la Croix-Rouge britannique, Croix-Rouge espagnole et Croix-Rouge française. Madame le secrétaire exécutif de la Croix-Rouge et directrice du Centre de coopération avec l'Afrique de la Croix-Rouge espagnole, notre chère amie Madame Rodriguez. Monsieur le représentant des jeunesses du groupe Sahel Plus, illustres invités, Mesdames et Messieurs, je voudrais, au nom de la Croix-Rouge du Cap-Vert, en tant que président de cette société nationale, sur également à mon nom personnel, tout comme en tant que président sortant du groupe Sahel+, remercie Son Excellence, Madame la vice-présidente de la République de Gambie et Monsieur le représentant du président de la Fédération internationale des sociétés de Croix-Rouge et de Croissant-Rouge, car votre surprésence par nous vient aussi non seulement cet ensemble général et notre sous-groupe régional Sahel+, qui a lieu en terre gambienne, comme également vient démontrer tous les sens que ces groupes détenaient au sein de la Fédération internationale et même au sein du mouvement. En second lieu, je voudrais également saisir de cette occasion pour remercier le vice-président de la Fédération internationale pour les régions Europe, la directeur régionale Afrique, toutes les sociétés nationales seraient et membres des groupes ici présents, de même que tous les invités dont leur présence vient contribuer de façon significative pour l'accroissement et l'enrichissement de notre groupe et en général et de cet événement en particulier. Mesdames et Messieurs, le fait que la Gambie a collé cette session d'Assemblée générale constitue pour nous un sentiment de grande satisfaction et une occasion privilégiée pour retirer notre ferme conviction de contribuer et collaborer davantage encore plus pour le renforcement des liens qui nous unissent, tout comme également travailler fermement pour que notre groupe puisse atteindre ses objectifs qui sont ceux d'aider les sociétés nationales membres à développer leurs capacités et favoriser les échanges de toute nature qui sont soit entre les différentes sociétés nationales membres. Cette rencontre, dans le suite du prolongement des antérieures, vient constituer la continuité de notre réflexion élargie sur les questions importantes que remboursement nos sociétés nationales et qui ont contribué à la création de ces groupes en 2001, à savoir le renforcement des capacités des sociétés nationales, la mobilisation des ressources humaines et financières pour la concrétisation effective de notre action, la mise en place d'une plateforme d'échange entre les sociétés nationales membres face à des défis communs complexes tels que la sécurité alimentaire, les inondations, les épidémies, la migration et aujourd'hui plus que jamais les changements climatiques et bien autres défis. La mise en œuvre en commun au niveau de chaque de nos respectifs pays, les plans stratégiques 2030 de la Fédération internationale. Je ne saurais entrer dans les détails des réalisations faites durant ces mandats qui, au lieu d'avoir une durée de 4 ans, s'est étendue sur une période de 5 ans, soit de février 2018 à mars 2022, pour la raison déjà connue de tout l'apparition de Covid-19. Pour ce faire, le secrétaire permanent nous en dira plus lors de son exposé. Aussi donc, avec votre permission et au nom de toutes les 10 sociétés nationales membres, je me permets de remercier le secrétariat permanent du groupe Sahel+, de tout temps assumé pour la Croix-Rouge du Sénégal, pour l'immense travail accompli aujourd'hui afin de tenir le groupe à son bon niveau de fonctionnement et d'y avoir la renommée dont ce groupe joint aujourd'hui. Je voudrais en cette occasion féliciter publiquement Madame Bafouba, actuelle secrétaire permanente et présidente de la Croix-Rouge sénégalaise, qui a déployé tous ses esforces avec son équipe pour l'arrivée en ces jours de cette importante assemblée. Pour aller, je voudrais également vous informer que durant mon mandat à la tête de ce groupe, nous avons bénéficié énormément de soutien ici pendant de longues années depuis inconditionnel de notre très cher frère et ami, président Mansour Abdoul Diallo. À cet effet, je voudrais également lui rendre un hommage pour avoir beaucoup bénéficié du soutien inlassable à notre groupe sous-régional. De même, l'occasion de notre présence en terre gambienne, dans le cadre de la réalisation de cette Assemblée générale, de cette importance capitale, je voudrais profiter encore une fois en mon nom de la Croix-Rouge du Cap-Vert, en mon nom personnel et au nom des sociétés nationales membres, féliciter les autorités gambiennes et la Croix-Rouge de Gambie et vous adresser tous les remerciements en tant les pleines convictions de que tout serait fait à mise en œuvre dans le sein de rendre notre séjour agréable et fructueux dans le déroulement de notre travail. C'est dans cet esprit de bien servir ceux qui sont dans les besoins par le bien du groupe Sahel Plus que j'ai formulé les souhaits que le travail de cet ensemble général soit un succès. Excuse-moi mon français, merci beaucoup.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. In summary, he extended his appreciation to the Gambia Red Cross for hosting this General Assembly, but at the same time, thank the participants for coming and also the partners for all the support. In effect, he was talking about some of the discussions that we're going to have in terms of the discussions in terms of programs and activities that were undertaken over the past 4 years since he's been chairing the group. And of course, it's a time for us to take stock and also to see how we move in terms of dealing with some of the new and emerging challenges. He also thanked Madame Bafouba, who is the permanent secretary from the Senegalese Red Cross, who is the permanent secretariat of the group, for all the efforts and the contributions in making it to this meeting. So in summary, that's basically what he was talking about, and his National Society's continued commitment to working in this group or through this group in partnership with other Sahelian national societies. So thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Now we have reached to the climax of this ceremony, and I would like to introduce once again a sister, a humanitarian, a development worker, a social worker, someone I've known for years, committed to humanity, committed to helping the vulnerable, and now Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. I would like to invite Her Excellency, Dr. Aissatou Touré, Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, to deliver her opening speech.
Thank you very much, Moderator and Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross Society, Mr. Alassane Senghor, President of the Gambia Red Cross Society, Honorable Jato Silla, the Chair of the Sahel Plus Group, and President of the Cabo Verde Red Cross Society, Mr. Alinco Soares do Calvaro, President and Secretary General of the Sahel Red Cross, Red Crescent National Societies, Dr. Karim Kinik, Vice President of the IFRC and President of the Turkish Red Crescent Society. IFRC Regional Director for Africa, Mr. Mohammed Mukia. ICRC Head of Regional Delegation, Madam Valentine Bunakoni. Representatives of partner national Red Crescent Societies, Belgium, British, French, Turkish, Saudi Arabia, Madame Bafo Ba, head of the Sahel Group Secretariat, members of the Diplomatic Corps, focal persons of thematic working groups on food security and livelihood, migration, youth and health, development partners, senior government officials, the virtual participants across the world currently watching this event, the media fraternity, distinguished invited guests, Gambia Red Cross Society, Red Cross volunteers and staff, ladies and gentlemen. It is my singular honor and privilege to preside over the official opening ceremony of the General Assembly of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies of Sahel Plus Group. I bring you warm greetings of His Excellency, Mr. Adama Barrow, and President of the Republic of the Gambia, who is also the Chief Patron of the Gambia Red Cross Society. May I use this occasion to welcome you to the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa. Indeed, I wish to express my sincere appreciation for inviting me to address this August Assembly of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Sahel Plus Group, a network of national societies of the Sahel and other countries. Ladies and gentlemen, performing the official opening of this meeting is not only a privilege, but also a duty, as the Gambia Red Cross Society was created by the government of the Gambia to complement government's humanitarian and development work and to fulfill its obligation under international humanitarian law. The meeting is being hosted in Banjul, and delegates include presidents and secretaries general of National Red Cross and Crescent Societies of the Republic of Chad, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, Cape Verde, Mauritania, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Senegal, and the Gambia. The presence of other partners from national societies outside of the region, as well as the IFRC and ICRC, is also a clear testimony of the importance and also demonstrates the unique nature and solidarity that exists within the Red Cross in mobilizing the power of humanity. The meeting will review activities of the national societies, including achievements, challenges, and discuss how Red Cross and Red Crescent societies can continue to complement and support governments through their auxiliary roles in dealing with the existing and emerging humanitarian and development challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, you are meeting at a time when the world is challenged with so many and complex humanitarian situations with limited resources. This further reaffirms the need for more collaboration through partnerships, capitalizing on the comparative advantage of all. In recent times, the provision of humanitarian assistance in the wake of major disasters has become an issue of pressing international concern and a major activity undertaken by existing states and a broad spectrum of other actors, ranging from international organizations such as the United Nations to non-governmental entities, including the Red Cross and Red Crescent national societies. Added to this is the increased recognition of the crucial significant role of Red Cross and Red Crescent in disaster risk reduction, aimed at building the resilience of communities with a view to mitigating the impact of disaster in the future. The need to coordinate and cooperate in the response to the onset of a disaster also extends to legal cooperation. Likewise, prevention and preparation are increasingly mandated as a matter of law, with legal compliance playing a significant role in the assessment of exposure to risk. The principal areas of focus for this meeting will include food security and livelihoods, migration, youth and health, among other things. In the coming days, you will also be discussing to some extent how you delivered against the agreed objectives at your last meeting in Lumbila, Burkina Faso, a couple of years ago. This will also provide an opportunity to share experiences on how you collectively responded to the COVID-19 pandemic and its related challenges on the side of your governments. Ladies and gentlemen, with this in mind and with the resources of governments and the international humanitarian system already stretched, we need to be smarter in the way we work together, particularly to prepare for, anticipate, and respond to disasters and pandemics, and to invest at a much larger scale ahead of crisis. One way in which we have been working to support the Gambia Red Cross is by involving them in all processes undertaken by the government, from policy, planning to implementation at all levels. Our government have provided the enabling environment for the Gambia Red Cross Society to function and undertake its humanitarian and development activities based on the fundamental principles of the Red Cross. For us, Gambia Red Cross have been a credible partner with committed leadership. The success of the Gambia Red Cross Society transformation process is evident through the quality and timeliness of its service delivery on projects, programs, operations, and the increasing number of new and emerging partnerships. The Gambia government recognized the excellent work done by the Gambia Red Cross Society during the past years, especially in supporting government efforts in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic and other disasters. The Gambia Red Cross Society has also been instrumental in supporting government's development efforts through the various partnerships with the UN system in the Gambia. The Gambia Red Cross have mobilized their volunteers across the country, raised resources, both local and internationally, to complement government efforts. Without this, it would have been much more difficult. We want to thank you, Mr. Seno. Ladies and gentlemen, it is also commendable to see how the Gambia Red Cross was also able to support government in its quest to ensure business continuity during the past difficult pandemic years. Whilst responding to COVID-19, the Gambia Red Cross Society was also able to support government in responding to other disasters such as windstorms and floods. On behalf of the Gambia government, I wish to extend our sincere appreciation to the partners for their support to the Gambia Red Cross Society, including the UN system, IFRC, ICRC, Italian, Spanish, Qatar, Japan, and other national societies, some of whom are present at this meeting. We hope you will use your presence in the Gambia to explore other areas of cooperation with the Gambia Red Cross, whilst our government will continue to provide the enabling environment. With these remarks, I have the pleasure in declaring the General Assembly of the Sahel Plus Group open and wish you success in your deliberations. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. C'est juste, M. Kanté va faire une summary résumé de cette speech, mais ce qu'on va faire, on va traduire ça en français, on partage avec les participants. Mais ce qui est essentiel, c'était dans le contexte qu'on a aujourd'hui avec les défis humanitaires, elle a évoqué ce que les importances entre le rôle auxiliaire de la société nationale, aussi comment la société nationale, la Croix-Rouge gambien a travaillé avec le gouvernement de Gambie avant, mais aussi pendant les périodes difficiles, surtout les années qui passent, le Covid-19, mais en même temps pendant le Covid, pour faire répondre à d'autres catastrophes, surtout inondations ou d'autres catastrophes. Aussi, dans ce monde-là, ce n'est pas le gouvernement seulement qui va lever le défi humanitaire, mais il faut une collaboration entre les gouvernements, mais aussi les sociétés civiles ou les sociétés nationales, les Croix-Rouges et le Croissant-Rouge. Elle a aussi remercié les sociétés nationales sœurs et les bailleurs qui sont soutenus la Croix-Rouge gambienne pendant cette période difficile. Elle a aussi évoqué les succès de transformation qui étaient faits par la Croix-Rouge gambienne. Le résultat de cette transformation est évident parce que la société nationale a levé tous les défis humanitaires à travers leur rôle auxiliaire pour les pouvoirs publics. Merci beaucoup. Merci, ça c'est un résumé. Elle a déclaré les travaux ouverts. Je vous remercie. Merci beaucoup. Okay, thank you very much. Now we will go for a group photo and then we can have a lunch at the other side. I think everything is ready. And then the proper meeting will resume at 15h, je pense. At 3 o'clock, 3:30, we meet here to continue work as a Sahel group. Thank you. I would like to use this opportunity to thank the invited guests, the media. Thank you very much for coming. You are always with us, not only in the capital, but also in the field. The police band, the protocols, the Office of the Vice President, thank you. And thank you to my staff and all the volunteers for the hard work. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we can allow the high table to move and then you follow. We can allow the high table to move to the dining room.
Guluje yimbe ka hore leydi woni ko ƴetti ndu pikiiɗo coronavirus non ko gonga anda ɓale anda dane anda paykun anda mawɗo wari africans ɓe boyi ka hore leydi sabu non ala lekki kono kibaruji welɗi ɗi woni ndu heɓi haray pikiiro ɓayna fo ñetti o vaccin jol ko kalle yo reno teddindi laabi ko ɗum ɗon ko fewno coronavirus no woɗi o ñawono